Hello, Darren here. Welcome to episode 2 of this new series, which doesn't have a name yet. I think it's called Eat with Darren, but I am open to your suggestions. Please let me know what you think about a series name down in the comments. So today I'm going to be eating some local food ordered from an independent business, and the goal of today is just to answer your questions, have a bit of a chit chat. Lots of you have been asking why I decided to stay in Malaysia rather than flying back home to the UK. So I'm going to be answering that question and many more. So do watch the video all the way to the end. But for now, let me go and order my food and I'll be back in a second. What we have here is my lunch for today. And I have to say, it weighs an absolute ton. There's going to be a lot of food in here. I can feel it. So this, yes, is the package. And we're going to open this and we shall see what is inside. I'm looking forward to this. Look at the size of it. Let's have a look. Ooh. Wow. Oh my God. Just look at this. We've got Nasi Kandar and the smell is absolutely incredible. Oh my God, just look how much rice there is there. There's no way I'll eat all of that. But we've got chicken, we've got lots of veggies. Oh, this looks so good. I cannot believe the portion size of this Nasi Kandar. Now this cost me 10 ringgits and 50 cents. The smells, the fragrances, oh, so good. This would feed 2 people. There's no way that I will be eating all of this rice, but I just want to dig into it. So I've had Nasi Kandar once before, and that was in Penang, and it was awful. I went to a bad place to eat it. I should have got some local recommendations. Whilst I was in Penang, I actually met up with a group of lads. Well, not met up, but I saw them as I was exploring, and they'd actually travelled from Kuala Lumpur all the way to Penang to have Nasi Kandar. That is how popular this dish is. And I think this is the first time that I'm going to taste it properly. So, where did I order this from? Good question. Let's have a look. The place I ordered this from, I ordered it on Grab, and it's called Restoran Nasi Kandar Murah Rezeki. I'll leave a link down in the description to the map to this place. I've also got a cup of teh tarik, which cost me 3 ringgits. I'll put the British and the American prices on the screen. Oh, so good. So, let's tuck into this. As you can see, we've got chicken, we've got lots of rice. Let's just taste this rice. Oh, so looking forward to this. The flavours. Like, the amount of rice is incredible, it really is. We'll get some veggies. I'm really craving veggies right now. This feels a bit like back home when I'm eating fish and chips and it comes in, you know, previous days' newspapers. It's wrapped up in that. That's what we have, fish and chips back home. So it feels a bit like this. I'm really addicted to veggies right now. I just can't stop eating them, which is a good thing. So let's get into some of this chicken. In fact, let's put the fork down and use, one sec, and use our fingers. So we've got the chicken here, which looks so succulent. It's on the bone. So let's just have it eat. The flavouring on it. Bit of spice there, not overly spicy. I would say it's probably mild spice. Bit of bone. That chicken is so good. So the locals keep telling me that you should eat with your fingers. So that's what we're going to do. We've got some rice. We've got some veggies. I should have brought a cloth. This is amazing. I know already what score I'm going to give it. Just so, it's packed with veg. Absolutely packed. This is going to be messy. Let's get some more chicken. Oh dear, this is so good. If you love Nasi Kandar and there's 2 of you, then I recommend that you order this. So what is the score that I'm going to give? Well, I honestly didn't think that I would be giving a dish 5 out of 5 in episode 2. But because of the flavours and the portion size and the amount of veggies, I'm loving the veggies. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. I can't give it a 4. It's got to be a 5. This is absolutely delicious. As you can see, I'm really enjoying this. So, a 5 out of 5. Definitely recommend this place. I will be ordering this again, but I'm going to have to make sure that I don't have any food at all because this portion is huge. Now, not even touch the surface of it. It weighs an absolute ton. Full of rice, full of veg, lots of chicken, and chicken with meat on this time. Yeah, there's a lot of bones which I don't like, but it's meat. Yep, 5 out of 5. Not going to change my mind. Let's get on to the questions, and we'll put this to one side for now. Oh, this is delicious. Can't stop eating it. Mix up the chicken, the veg, and the rice, and using your fingers. By the way, I have washed my hands. Oh, there's a big lump of garlic there. So yes, do wash your hands. So good. And this teh tarik is good as well. So, as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be answering your questions because a lot of you have been asking me why did I decide to stay in Malaysia rather than travelling back home to the UK. Now, the UK government advised every traveller, tourist, to head back home, and I decided to go against those recommendations and stay here. So why did I decide to stay here? We'll get into that in the video. Let me just quickly go through my phone with the questions. By the way, I use the community tab on YouTube. I post photos, I chit chat, I ask questions. Please do go and check that out. I'm reading all the questions today from the community tab. So the first question is from Umar Abad Aziz. This is Yorkie Malay, by the way. I'm not going to pronounce your names right. I'm sorry. I apologise. Honestly, I don't mean to do it. It's just, I'm terrible at it. But anyway, Umar says, if someone wanted to do freelancing full time, how long should they expect the transition to be before it becomes fully stable? It's a great question. I always say that you should try and have at least 6 months worth of income in a savings account. If you can, where possible, actually do the freelancing while you are working full time, because it just means that over time you are going to build that client base, and then when you are earning good income, you can then move on to maybe doing it full time. So yes, at least 6 months if you just want to quit your job If you don't, if you want to do it gradually, then just do it part-time, do it in the evenings, do it at the weekend, and just find your clients that way. So yeah, just make sure you have some comfort there, because obviously we've had situations like, you know, this horrific pandemic that we're going through right now. And we don't want to be in a situation where you've got no money coming in at all as a freelancer. That money could dry up, that work could dry up, so always have savings if you're going to go and start becoming a freelancer. So the next question is by Nora Jim, and she asks, hey Darren, what made you stay on in Malaysia when others rushed home? That is a really good question, and it was an incredibly difficult decision to make, because at the end of the day, I have travel insurance, which I'm still waiting to find out if I am actually covered for the virus. So that's a thing. I don't know if I'm going to be covered financially should I be taken ill. So that was a concern. But the main concern was going back home and having to live with my parents when I don't want them to get the virus off me. Obviously, I'm keeping indoors, I'm quarantining, but if I'm going to be travelling through airports and on a plane for 17 hours, then obviously that could raise, well, it would increase the chance of me getting the virus, and I would hate to go back and give them the virus, especially because they are obviously older, pension age, late 60s, so yes, I didn't want that to happen. And also, I don't have any accommodation in the UK, so I would have to find somewhere to live, and that could be very expensive when you consider how expensive it is to live in the UK. It's not just renting somewhere, it's all the bills and everything else that becomes very expensive. It's why I live this lifestyle of working remotely and travelling. So those are the main factors behind it. But also, of course, I'm in a beautiful, very comfortable apartment, and it's very quiet here. And when, you know, things do start to improve, I've got public transport on my doorstep, so I can get out and do the exploring. But yeah, obviously being in Malaysia, it's a country that I love. I can order nasi lemak or nasi kandar. Wow. I've been blown away by that nasi kandar today. So yes, basically those are the reasons why I decided to stay. I always go with my gut instinct. Whenever I do anything in life, if my gut is telling me to do something in particular, then I will go with that. And my gut was telling me to stay here. You know, there's less cases here, there's less deaths here as it stands at the moment. And it just didn't feel right going back home. I spoke to my parents about it. I got advice from the British consulate, who initially said to me that they advised that I would stay here as well, rather than travelling back, especially because I've got an apartment here until, you know, end of May if I need it. At the moment, I booked it until the end of April. And obviously, I've got a visa until the end of May. I've got a flight booked back home. So yes, that is the reason why I decided to stay here. I just feel more comfortable here and happier here. And I've got lots of space to live, where if I was going to live with my parents, you know, no offence to them, but I would be in a very small box room. And when you're locked down, you just need that bit of space and a bit of privacy, and this is perfect. So yes, those are the reasons why I decided to stay here. Next question is by Matt Nash, who asks, don't you feel lonely? Do you have any company at where you are now? Well, obviously, you're all my company. Everybody watching this video and commenting and on social media, I don't feel lonely. I've never really felt lonely. Occasionally I do, but certainly not during this pandemic. And that's because I'm an introvert. I love my own company. I can entertain myself. I've got wide-reaching interests like creating videos and building websites and being creative with all sorts of things, playing computer games, Netflix. So I don't feel lonely. And I think because we've got this, the mobile phone, the technology, I'm able to keep in touch with family and friends back home. I'm able to WhatsApp them, do videos, do audio messages, text messages, send them photos, and I feel very connected, even though I've got to be honest, during the first 2 weeks of this, managed, what's it called? Monitoring, MCO, we'll call it MCO, this lockdown, I was very anxious because obviously making that decision about staying here or going home, and I took myself off social media because that was increasing my anxiety, and I'm not a person that has anxiety, but I completely have more sympathy now because I've experienced it myself with those people that have anxiety all the time. It's not a nice feeling to have, but I don't feel lonely, to answer your question. I don't feel lonely. I feel good. I feel happy. If I wasn't happy, I wouldn't be here. It's as simple as that, really. But being able to keep connected with people, being able to do videos and talk to people on social media, definitely don't feel alone. But no, I don't have anybody here. It's just me and me, Tay Tarek. Cheers. Next question is by Alemap. What is the most fun experience you have had in Malaysia at this point? That's a good question. I would say definitely hiking in Sarawak, in the national parks. I absolutely love that, just being around the nature. And yeah, I was absolutely exhausted, and those were beginner hikes. I am not the fittest person in the world at all, but I absolutely love just being in all the nature, the sounds of the rainforest, the jungle, and the nature around me. I absolutely love that. That was definitely probably the most fun that I've had in Malaysia, and I would definitely go back there again. I definitely want to go back to Kuching. I am craving Sarawak laksa. I really am. It's one of my favourite dishes on top of nasi lemak and now nasi kandar. And that was definitely one of my fun experiences. What I'll do, down in the description, I'll leave a link to those hiking videos. If you haven't watched them, I highly recommend that you do. They're quite humorous because there's a bit of me whinging. You have to watch them for yourself, but I'll leave a link down in the description. Go and check those videos out and watch them. I think you'll enjoy them. Next question is by Raya Hay. Sounds a bit Korean maybe. Raya Hay W. How is your diabetic going on? Well, I am diabetic. I'm type 2 diabetic though, so I don't have insulin. I have medication called metformin. I don't have a huge dose of it, but I do have tablets for my diabetes. And my diabetes is under control. I've got medication here until the middle of June. So I've got plenty of medication, but also I know I can get it in Malaysia if I need to get my diabetes medication. But as it stands right now, I've got enough to keep me going until June. And I'm just monitoring it and managing it. That's all you can really do. I don't stress too much about it, but I am very careful about how much sugar and carbs that I consume. So that rice, as you saw, that huge plate of rice, there's no way that I would eat that. But people see that big plate and think, oh my God, just look at all those carbs there. That's going to turn into sugar and that's going to send his diabetes through the roof. And that's what I have to do. I have to manage it so that it doesn't go through the roof. I don't test my blood or anything like that, but I am just very careful what I eat, and I'm always taking my medication and keeping as healthy as I can. But I'm not type 1 diabetic with the insulin. That would be much more difficult, especially in this situation that we're in right now. But I'm keeping healthy. I'm doing my little exercises in the morning. And it just reminds me, if you would like me to do a quarantine vlog of a typical day here in lockdown in Malaysia and the stuff that I do to keep entertained and the exercises I do, let me know, and I'll do a vlog on that. I think that could be fun. Let me know down in the comments. So yeah, I'm keeping healthy. I am looking after myself. Yes, I could do with losing a little bit more weight. There's no doubt about that. That's going to be difficult when I'm locked down, but I'm just looking forward to getting out and exploring again. That's what's keeping me going at the moment, for sure. The next question is by Stephen, and he asks, how many years have you been working remotely and travelling? Great question. It's been 5.5 years nearly since I quit my job. For those that don't know, I worked for the same company for 24 years and I decided to leave to become a remote worker and travel full time. And I've been doing that for half a decade now, which is absolutely crazy. There's certainly been some downs, but most of it has been very positive experiences. I visited some amazing places. I've lived in Tokyo, Seoul, been to Sydney. Oh, just the things that I've done. Been over Sydney in a helicopter, sand duning, sandboarding down the dunes in New Zealand. Just eaten way too much delicious food. Been to Vietnam and all over Europe. I just love my life. I couldn't be any happier with the lifestyle that I've got. There's certainly changes that I'm going to have to make, and I'll cover that in the next question. But yes, I've been travelling for 5.5 years now. I'm very thankful of that, but I've worked hard. I've worked hard. I've got contracts. I've got freelance work. I've had to work hard to get money coming in. It's not easy. Those people that try and sell the dream of working next to the pool with a cocktail and working on the laptop, that's just somebody trying to sell you a dream. It honestly isn't the reality, but I still love this lifestyle and I hope that I can do this for many, many, many years to come. So the final question is by Alpha672434. Interesting username that. And he asks, what changes am I going to make to my lifestyle because of the virus, the pandemic that we've been going through? That is a great question because that is certainly something that I've been thinking much more about recently. Now, obviously, as I said, the travel insurance, I'm hoping that I'm covered for the virus, but if not, what I'm definitely going to be doing going forward is looking at some kind of health insurance that covers me no matter where I am in the world, that I get free medical treatment, and maybe I'll have to pay a monthly amount of money. If anybody knows about this kind of thing, about healthcare, maybe Bupa or something like that, and it's going to cost me a lot of money, but I think just for that peace of mind, so important to have some cover, because medical care abroad can be so expensive. Now, obviously in Malaysia, the healthcare is good, and that's another reason why I stayed here, because I thought, well, yes, I get free medical treatment at home with the NHS, but here, if I was, touch wood, I won't be taken ill, but if I was, then at least, I'm going to be in a country where the healthcare is good. So yes, that's definitely something that I'm going to be looking at improving. Also, just maybe slowing down my travels and spending 3 to 6 months in one place rather than traveling so much. Obviously, Malaysia is going to be high on that list of places to stop longer in, along the likes of Seoul and Tokyo, cities that I really love living in. Prague is another city that I love, Hungary, Budapest. So many places that I really feel at home in. Those places I'm going to be spending much more time in. Now, obviously, Brexit is coming up for us Brits, so that's going to have an impact in, how long we can be in countries and if we can live there and all of that good stuff. So yes, this lifestyle of working remotely and traveling is definitely going to go through some changes. I think having savings and having that pot of money should events like this happen is so important. You can't live this lifestyle paycheck to paycheck, because you're just going to be having sleepless nights all the time. So yeah, that's definitely some changes that are going to have to happen for sure. So before we finish today's video, what I wanted to say to you is, firstly, thank you so much for your support. This channel is growing at a decent speed, and the views on the videos inspire me to create more videos. And I know views and numbers and stats shouldn't be what inspires you, but let's be honest, as a YouTube video creator, it is. and I enjoy creating videos. I realise that these videos of me sat down eating and talking are not the most interesting. I'm not out exploring, I'm not doing my usual, you know, Attenborough commentary. If you watch my videos where I do that, you know, that's a bit of a kind of, you know, I love Attenborough. He's an amazing guy. But anyway, I'm digressing. So yeah, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the messages. You know, the amount of messages I've had from people has been incredible. So I want to thank you for that. If you want to see a more day-to-day kind of video life, then definitely go and check me out on Instagram. I do stories on there. I'm starting to pick them up again and do them daily. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. You just get to see behind the scenes if that is what you're into. So yes, go and check out my Instagram, link in the description. I'm also on Twitter. I have a bit of a ramble on there from now and again. I have a bit of a chit chat with you all. So if you want to do that, if you're on Twitter, go and follow me there. Link is in the description. And that's it. That's all I was going to say to you. I hope you are enjoying this series. If you've got any, you know, constructive criticism, anything you'd like me to improve, anything that you would like, that you actually like from this series, please do let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll be back next Thursday with some more local food and giving you all a bit of a chit chat. I hope you are staying at home and keeping well. So important to look out for yourself, for your family. I know you will, but it's so important to keep indoors. The longer we stay indoors, the better, because then we can get out and do our exploring again and explore this amazing country, because I certainly plan to do that. I will be extending my visa here for 2 to 3 months and exploring this amazing country, so watch this space. Talk to you all soon. Take care.